super tired, but I'm about to make dinner, so I figured I'd go live. I actually got this recipe from, I forgot the channel, Southern, it's That Girl Can Cook. So shout out to That Girl Can Cook. Link is gonna be in the description. I just watched her video earlier to get like a quick recipe. I don't know about you guys. I've been on this like frying kick lately. I don't know, it could be the retrograde. I'm actually just gonna put I'm gonna start heating up the oil while I'm chit-chatting behind us here on the eye, get it nice and warm. But yeah, so I got this recipe really quickly, and I really liked her recipe. It was one of the first ones I saw, so that's the one I'm gonna use. Of course, I'm gonna modify it a little bit. And first things first, so since I am frying, I do really like this oil blend. It's been really working out. I did chicken upload, a southern fried chicken upload, so this oil blend worked out really well. So I'm gonna try some things. One thing I'm gonna do that she didn't do is I saw a few recipes and some people added some eggs, so I'm gonna use the chicken recipe and just do the egg white, because I guess that's gonna hopefully make the batter stick a little better. Let me get something. And last time, and I don't know, I'm just gonna try this, hopefully it works. But last time I did use like a little white cooking wine, and then I had some sherry cooking wine to because I didn't have vodka for the recipe, but you know, that I guess it helps evaporate things and, you know, help everything stick. But we are using corn flour, so that's the difference. We're using corn flour this time. So I got this Red Mills. I love Red Mills with the flour. Bob's Red Mill. This one is a mix of the cornmeal and flour already mixed. So the only other thing is we're gonna do baking powder. So make sure you always have something to sift the flour with. That always helps. So I'm gonna put the flour mixture in here, and I'm gonna mix that first. Crack this open. And let me know if you all have any questions. So I don't know how much I really need. I'm really only gonna make one piece, and I'm actually going to go ahead and just throw some baking powder on top of that, and that's gonna make things stick as well. In the oil. And we're gonna sift this pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna need a lot. Toss the excess. And so I do have to season this up because I couldn't find the fish boil, you know, like the Cajun style fish boil. So I am gonna have to season this up. So I'm just gonna work with what I have. I'm gonna do like, I guess 7 shakes of each. I don't know. Some garlic powder, a little coriander, onion powder. That's a lot. A little cumin, doesn't hurt, just a little bit. A little sage. Probably could use a little bit more. Why not? A little sage in there. Black pepper. A little Cajun. Paprika. Salt, sea salt. Yeah, it's not, this is just the regular flour, it's not salted, but the fish was already salted at the market. It was already had some Cajun season on it, so, but I am gonna put a generous amount of salt in there. Maybe even a little bit more. The garlic and onion powder is got enough salt in it as well. Some salt this up. And probably even a little more black pepper. Spicy. And let's see. So I am also, we got some cayenne. Yeah, use the rest of this. Time to get some more cayenne. It's always exciting when I run out of herbs. I don't know if anyone get excited when it's time to do some shopping for herbs and spices. Little marjoram. And I am gonna add some little dill weed. She said put some mustard powder, but I don't have that. I'm gonna do the mustard thing she said, and then a little clove, and allspice. Because I looked at some spices and I looked at the back of them for like some fish spice and like Cajun spices to see what was on there, and then they had clove, allspice. So I'm actually gonna throw some of these away. And then, oh, ginger. I do want to add some ginger there just for my personal health. And turmeric. Again, for my personal health. Some turmeric there. So it'll be a little tangy. Let's see if I have any, maybe, I don't think I need any nutmeg, to be honest. I did some caraway seeds. I don't know why. I don't know why I had some caraway seeds. I smell them. I'm not sure why, but smell them and see if I feel the need to put them on there. Sometimes you just gotta trust your body. You know, you go shopping, your body will kind of let you know what it needs, you know. Your muscles, it's, you know, if anyone's ever done muscle testing, it's a holistic health remedy. Grew up using it, and it basically deals with how the electrons in your muscles react to different stimuli in the electrons and other things that may have nutrients. Very metaphysical, but it's kinetic, it's kinesiology. And so since the oil is cooking, one thing in her upload, she did put, I think it was like green onion on there to kind of stop the smell, because the smell does permeate of oil. That's why I have my hair wrapped up, to just kind of protect my hair a little bit from the smell. But I just got some lemongrass, so I'm just gonna take this, kind of split it up a little bit, let it permeate, and I'm gonna put this in the oil while it's heating up. I have it kind of on low right now, and I do also have some rosemary in the oil also, but that lemongrass, I'm just gonna peel another small piece. And I thought this would be nice, you know, fish lemon, put some lemongrass in the oil, and so that way, again, your house doesn't smell so burnt. Lemongrass. So I'm gonna throw this in the oil too. Could be excessive. Lemongrass is super strong, but why not? All right, so, and then, oh, these caraway seeds. Let me smell these. Oh yeah, that's what caraway seeds are in. Rye bread. This is what rye bread is made out of. Also, Tatter's Aquabat, which is a vodka-based alcohol that tastes like rye bread. Miller's Pub had a drink called, I think, the Bee's Knees or something like that, where it had Tatter's Aquavat, honey, lemon. It tasted like honey over rye bread. One of my favorite cocktails at Miller's Pub on like near Adams and Wabash. So anyway, we're gonna stir this up, this flour mixture with all the spices I just threw in there, and this cornmeal, which is gonna coat the fish. It's probably not much, but I'm only gonna make one piece. And so now I'm gonna leave that there, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a little bit of batter as I put some stuff away. A little bit. Just a touch of so I'm gonna turn the oil down until I'm really good and ready. And so what I'm gonna do is just use the egg white and see how this works. I have a few pieces, so I'm gonna try one, and one, but I'm gonna start with this method. And then I might save the other two. I might just freeze them and save them for like tomorrow or something, and just try it without the wash. But I'm just gonna switch it up a little bit. And whenever you're using egg white, it's real sensitive, so make sure you have a dry bowl. And so I'm gonna open this for the yolk, and then you can save the yolk for making cake or, you know, different things. I probably should have cracked that better. Get the egg whites. And you want, you know, I let the egg sit out from the fridge for a little bit, so it got a little warm. I probably should have let it stay a little bit cooler so the egg whites stay together. Remember, save the eggshells, and then you can burn them to banish negativity. You can save eggs around your house to kind of collect negative energy. They can also be used for, you know, body healing. You can put an egg around your body and collect negative energy from your body using egg. And of course, egg-shaped things can be also used for fertility. But egg is actually really good for banishing negativity. So with the egg white, I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to mix. I got this in this thin bowl because I knew I wasn't going to use a lot, and I'm just going to kind of whisk it until it foams up a bit. If it was more, I would use the blender. I probably should have. You can put a little salt or sugar to help it out, but just going to whisk it, and then you can practice being ambidextrous with these type of tasks too. And so I'm just going to whisk this until it gets a little more fluffy by hand, since it's just a little bit. And this is just to kind of coat the fish, and I'm going to add a little sherry cooking wine, and then I'm going to put the mustard in. I'm going to actually use some of this Mexican Diablo sauce because I want mine spicy. Peace, Sasha. Peace, everybody. So I'm going to throw the little bit of that on to coat it and see how that works to make it spicy. See, I even stopped whisking, but see, it's already, I don't know if y'all can see. See, it's already kind of foamy. So I'm just going to keep at it. And as I'm doing all this, the fish has time to thaw out a bit. Nice and foamy, you see? The egg white. So that should coat everything. I love, and as you all know, egg white's one of my favorite ingredients to work with. I love using egg white. So let's just see how this works. And throw that mustard that she said. Some yellow mustard in there, not too much, but. And just to coat it, and then I'm gonna put some of this Diablo sauce, which is really hot, y'all. really, really hot. But yeah, I'm just gonna see what happens. It's gonna be, my fish is gonna be spicy. Yeah, it is. This is hot, yeah, though. And whisk away again. This is cute. So now we have like a mustardy fluff cloud. See? Egg white is so wonderful. It's like it's literally a few steps away from being a hollandaise, but we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop here and just add a little white cooking wine, like a little bit, because I don't know how this is gonna work, and I don't want to ruin the egg white we just worked for, and a little bit of sherry, because why not? That should do it. Just see how this works out. I feel like we could put a little more of the sherry in there. Yeah. And then I'm gonna whisk this again. And this is a nice little wash. Egg wash. So this is my egg wash there. There we have it. The egg wash I'm gonna use. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, so the fish here. I guess I'm gonna use this big guy right here. Put on the water. And see, it already has. It's not super big, but it already has some Cajun season on there. So I'm just gonna do it usual way. Wash it with this. Wash it with this. Give it a nice coating. Alright. And coat it in the flour I just made. Really nice. And you guys like to watch. Part is coated really nice. Everywhere. Okay. I could do it double. I'm wondering if I should. But fish is fairly delicate. So I don't know. I think I'm just gonna coat it really good with this cornmeal here. I mean, what do you all think? Should I double dip, or should I just keep it simple? I'll let you all decide. I'm gonna keep it in this batter for a little bit. Should I double dip or keep it simple? A nice dry towel handy. It was, oh yeah, it was my cat in the background. One of them. One out of. But yeah, I don't know. It's looking good. It's looking good. Yeah. But I'm gonna save the egg wash for the other two. It's just enough for 3 actually. It's like a perfect amount. So I'm gonna keep this on the batter. for a little bit, and I'm just going to keep letting the batter get into the cracks here. And I'm going to turn if you can hear the oil crackling, I'm still going to turn it up a little bit as well. I do have the top on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these other 2 fish in the freezer for now. Wrap them up. And I have this to let the done fish sit on for a little bit. So I'm going to take this top off. The oil's pretty hot right now. And I'm going to turn the fan on. Hope y'all can hear me. And one way to know if your oil is done, you can just take a little water and then just kind of, I mean, it's definitely done because it's you know, it's crackling. But if you're not sure, just take some water and then splash it on the oil, and if it crackles really nice, you know it's ready. But it's making a lot of noise, so I'm still gonna let the fish sit for just another minute in the batter, let everything soak in as I put everything away. Does anyone have any questions? I had a couple of things I wanted to talk about. One thing is, you know, Eshu Ilegbara, the gatekeeper, Papa Legba, Ilegwa, Mondays are a good day to honor the gatekeeper. And also make sure those of you who are of Vodun initiation, particularly, you know, Black Americans from the slave trade, from West African descent, who have access to the Orisha and access to Vodun, including the Pethro ancestors that followed us to the Americas and took on a fiery warrior form to free the slaves using, you know, Vodun. Those of us Black Americans who are practicing. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Oh, can you see me or no? Can you hear me? Make sure that you're honoring the gatekeeper before doing any other rituals. You know, it's okay to, you know, honor the Orishas and the ancestors, you know, and Siki, the Egun, whatever particular path or tradition, but make sure you're honoring the gatekeeper. And here's why. If you are noticing, especially as a African American, so to speak, if you're noticing people trying to get in your way all the time, or if you notice when you leave the house, other people, if you stay in an apartment or a building or like a hotel, something like that, where there's other people, not just you, where when you're ready to leave the house, another person or another tenant is ready to leave. If you notice, like, you're ready to, you know, cross the street or go a certain way, and then, you know, people crossing your way, or there's, you know, there's obstacles or people kind of trying to take the same path as you at the same time. There is convergence that comes to a singularity, but just to keep it from a quantum physical standpoint, and to keep it just on a spiritual standpoint, it's matrix formations trying to block you when you're on your path to success. And in the retrograde, notice obstacles. Retrogrades in any sign, element, or planet are designed to kind of slow you down and get you to, you know, think in almost like an opposite way, or see things from the other perspective. So if you think of retrograde, retro motion, but how that translates into a human experience in society is getting you to see an alternate path or method or problem solving, or putting you in a position where you have to think differently or use the other side of your brain. It definitely feels like stagnation a lot of times, and it's popular to talk about it in that way, but take time to notice obstacles during retrogrades. And in terms of Papa Legba and Eshui Legbara, make sure you're making your offerings. I've done some uploads in the past. If you have any questions, you know, we can refresh, but make sure you're making your offerings to clear the path, to clear the roads, to clear obstacles from your path, from your life path, from your destinies, from you achieving your goals, from your blessings. You know, just clearing, making sure that your path is clear. This also deals with health and wellness as well. All the things that allow you to move forward and create forward motion and momentum and create that speed once you have gained the ability to move in alternate directions. Mercury is a planet relative to Eshui Legbara. So its ability, you know, the gatekeeper's ability to, one, be androgynous, and represent, oftentimes being depicted as a little girl, but, you know, often appearing as a boy, or you know, just a child in general. But that androgyny represents the chaos element, but also that ability to switch it up and change direction in the event of an obstacle, of an unseen force, of something suddenly stopping your forward motion, stopping your progress. And these things happen in life, that you know, these monkey wrenches that get thrown into our goals. And like I said, a retrograde is a time for you to kind of clean up and move obstacles and actually gain foresight to see what is in your path, what directions are you taking that people are trying to block, that forces, spiritual forces, are trying to block, by, you know, noticing what's getting in your way. It's also a great time to clean up your friends list, clean up your social media. There's a lot of hacking and scamming going on. So make sure who you know on social media is who you know. Don't be out here looking for clout. Make your accounts private if you're able to. If you don't need them for public persona or business, you know, make things private. Change your passwords. Comb through all this stuff during the retrograde. So when you move forward, you got those obstacles out of your way. You have that foresight to see what might in the future stop you. You already have you know, weapons and shields against, you know, these things, these traps that may happen, that you know, forces may try to lay as you achieve your goal. If you have a truly divine goal out here, you know, and you're a warrior, you're bride of Christ, you're a mage, you're out here fighting unclean spirits. And that's the other thing. Get rid of parasites. Start getting rid of your parasites. So let's just put this fish in there. I just wanted to kind of soak a little bit, so we're gonna shake it, and I'm gonna put it on the heat. we're gonna do about 8 minutes. Gonna give it a flip after say 4 or 5. I'm gonna cover it up again since I was talking for quite a while. Even though I have the heat on high, I'm just gonna cover it up so it can get nice and hot and make sure the fish is nice and crispy. And then I'm probably gonna throw all this in the fridge as well, just to save it for when I'm ready to do the next two. Because again, you know, it's egg and stuff. So let me throw this in the fridge real quick. Cover it up. I do have some spinach and rice here that I'm going to enjoy with the fish, and I'm going to throw in the skillet. While it's boiling. But I just thought that was important. Make sure you're doing your offerings to Papa Legba, the gatekeeper, who allows you entry to use the Vodun ancestors, and to make sure that your blood is and that you are of the bloodline. Papa Legba is the gatekeeper for a reason. So start to cleanse yourself of parasites, of these white supremacist ideologies that Black Americans have been programmed with from slavery to cause us to self-destruct and to stay inferior and to stay as a labor force in this nation. It's a free nation. It's a great nation, but Black people worldwide have a long way to go in terms of achieving freedom that is any semblance of equality to the superiority other nations have achieved over the Black race. And again, biblically, the Black race is scattered all around, and everywhere we are inferior. So that's why I would say stay away from people who want to debate about Black people being the Hebrew Israelites. Simply read the Bible, analyze, and look at the way society is now, and do some simple math. And if you are intelligent and you're a Bible scholar, then you can actually do genetic research. And you can start with the flood and look at the migrations of different races, different nations. Or you can even go back to the Tower of Babel, when language, the separation of language began. So, the reason I am Black High Priestess and speak to Black people is because Black is not just a race, it's a metaphysical energy force. It's an energy level, it's a color, it's an energy, it's a race, it's a creed, and all those things relate scientifically to the weight of Blackness, the gravity of Blackness, and the oppression or the weight of the Black experience as a human. So I think there's this channel, Make Africa Great Again, and I'll also post the link in the description to that video. And the brother was posting, one of the presidents went to another country and said, who has bewitched Africa? And talking about worldwide the African or the Blacks' inability to unite and dominate and gain control and ownership of anything on this planet, despite being the original human to this planet, and despite being the original civilization of this planet. So as I've been talking about witchcraft for over a decade now, but you know, in YouTube for the past few years. But those of you who have been following me on Facebook and LinkedIn and you know, since you know, since I started Facebook in like 08, you know, but you know, social media, and since 2012 when I started my BlackHighPriestess brand. It's been a decade since I've been talking about witchcraft and using it to heal Black people. And, you know, and then seeing how inferior Black people truly were, and just having to kind of figure out and navigate that inferiority, and introducing power to inferior people. And it's just been very frustrating. It's been very lonely, but in few ways it's been rewarding to see Black individuals who have, you know, who take it seriously, empower themselves. But it's getting to a point where, again, it's necessary to really talk about how important reading the Bible is and understanding that, because, you know, there now I think people are a lot more open. But what I've experienced is when you really get out here and you get in society and you start talking and you exude power, at least here in Chicago on the South Side, the communities are not ready for a real witch. They're ready for some hotep, spiritual, superficial Black female energy, but they're not ready for a Black woman who has power that the collective has not achieved. There's not real beauty, there's not real power, there's not real femininity. There is a rise of Afrofuturism and self-acceptance and everything, but to encounter a real witch who is genuine, without gimmicks, that's not something a lot of Black people are ready for. It's something that still, I'm gonna take the top off, and I'm gonna go ahead and flip it. Oh, it's nice and crispy. Just want to show you all here. See, it's nice and crispy. But I'm still going to flip it for a couple minutes with the top off. So, you know, it's been hard to try and be nice and be kind when I've been actually groomed to, you know, be among superiors, be among intellects, and trying to take that to Black Revolution and just not really finding a place, because, you know, just having achieved so much superiority at such a young age, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, everything but financially. And to see Black people with so much money but so ignorant, it's just been really frustrating, because I know on a spiritual level, dealing with other races is ultimately gonna, it would cause my spiritual power to suffer, knowing what recessive genetics, how parasitic they are. So, you know, it's just been really, for me, it's been a path of embracing why I'm here. But Black people are inferior, and I think this is the year to really find, for those of you who are bloodline witches who I've been talking about, empowering, you know, even exposing in some instances. You know, I've seen other, you know, witches and women of the craft talking about going back and hiding, or, you know, denouncing witchcraft, and just seeing that when you have a society that's under the guise of freedom, but people are so afraid, and there are no men, And men have gladly castrated themselves, physically or not. Men have castrated themselves and denounced all responsibility to protect and provide for the female in this nation. Men, feminine women are not safe. We're not safe from women who are not feminine enough to compete with us, who have now taken over society and gotten rid of the men who would fight for us and who would fight for women to be feminine. So now we have a society of masculine men, many who are jealous of men and feminine women. And we have a society of feminine thinking and feminine regulations that provide no real protection and structure or discipline. And what we see is we've seen the police be defunded, and we've seen an enormous rise in crime, and now nobody is safe because because of all the liberal agendas worked. And I venture to say 91% of black men who have any money or resources probably have a white wife. The rest are struggling to get something with their black families, and probably dabbling in white society and white womanhood, playing the whore that black men do just to try and get an easy resource, because it's so hard for a black man to come together and build something for the black family. So, the liberal agenda, white feminism was at the forefront of it. And in the 40s, 50s, 60s, during all these wars and stuff, when white women and women became prominent in society because all the men got killed in war, and society became, imbalanced. And then you have white feminism because, white women wanted to have sex with black men freely without white men saying anything about it. And so now fast forward, and white women get all the black men that they want, because black men are still nothing but sex slaves. They don't have nothing. So they gonna play the whore and be the white woman's sex toy, so they could secure their spot. And I've been saying this for forever. I've been saying this since I was like single digits, because I was intelligent enough to see how black men work, because I grew up in white society and I saw that black men hate black women. That's how I learned it. I'm gonna take this fish off because it is done. Let the grease soak off, and then let it sit right there. Yeah, and it's bubbling. So I'm gonna let it sit, and then looks good though. It's good. You can always put it in the oven too, to finish it off. But my point is, the liberal agendas, white feminism, that destroyed black family. That was an agenda. You understand what I'm saying? Agendas. These aren't organic things like, freedom and now, a few people got jungle fever and can marry. No, I'm talking about these agendas that were intended to destroy the black family. Started white feminism. Rise in homosexuality. Destroys the family, destroys marriage. Pornography. What is pornography? Mostly interracial relations, mostly taboo relations. Mostly things that are taboo and fetish. That's what pornography is. Bestiality, pedophilia, interracial sex. That's pornography. That's what it mostly. That's what people are looking for. Unless they're just looking for some, other fetishy stuff, like sexual violence and things. These these things have been exposed, in Disney and all of this, subconsciously being put into society in subliminal messages and entertainment to subconsciously open people up to, that spirit, that demon of pornography. Destroys the black family. But in hip hop music and rap music in black culture, we already have seen how pornography was already put into our culture. The only thing they did is in mainstream, took the black woman out and put the white woman in. But that was happening in pornography since, probably since the beginning of it. But, and then, we have all these laws and regulations and things that keep people from rising to wealth. So when you prevent men from making money and having access to resources where he can't provide for a family, so now you have to have two people in the home working, you know what I'm saying? So, that puts a strain on the family structure. And essentially what I'm saying is all these little wars and collapses in society and this and that happening where our economy keeps collapsing and no one can get rich anymore in this nation. So these are agendas. These are not organic things that we can celebrate, we can celebrate people loving each other. No. Homosexuality, interracial dating, feminism. These are agendas in America. These are agendas. These are programs that have successfully taken away masculinity from this nation. And Donald Trump, while maybe not necessarily qualified to be a president of a former government that was actually our government, not the shadow shit we've been under since 9/11. The actual government, where the president had to be 45 years or older, married to one woman, had fought in war, had actually, when we was under the Constitution, like, before 9/11. My point is, while he may not have been qualified to be a president under that Constitution, Donald Trump was implementing things that were necessary to protect a nation from being conquered, and that much he knew. And I think that people were, people worrying about the price of eggs and stuff, and that's the thing. If I see one more person post about egg, why you worrying about eggs and the price of gas and the price of this? Worry about your budget. Worry about your diet. Like I'm saying, it's Mercury, switch it up. Like, you can't go 1 week without eggs if it's not in your budget. And like, at the end of the day, you can't invest an extra 2, 3, what are y'all complaining about? Because I'm pretty sure it's just 57 cents. The way y'all be goofy, legit. Like, you don't put that in your budget. Like, I feel I'm worth the $2 extra to get the organic can of tomatoes. You're not worth, like, what, like, do y'all really need something to complain about that bad? As if you can't just go with the actual flow. And that's what I'm saying, the level of intelligence, it's like problem solving skills. And when I say that black people are inferior in the grand scheme of problem solving skills, as a collective, the black race, is self-destructive. And like to the point where now Africans are recognizing that it can't be anything other than witchcraft, because there's no logic to how retarded black people behave, collectively and individually, unfortunately, sometimes. And that's why you got to get your individual tribes together, because people be on this group think zombie apocalypse shit where everyone wants to get on that zombie zone, and you got to get with people who have practiced using their brain and thinking and speaking for themselves, because and that means have practiced wearing the clothes they want to wear, listening to the music that they like, because that leads to actually hanging out with the people you like and dating the people that you are actually attracted to. You'll be surprised how many men date because they're under a spell. You would surprised how many men don't have the ability, the masculine energy to date a feminine woman. They're dating whatever woman tells him in whatever gesture or demand that we're dating now. These men are not pursuing women. I was on Facebook the other day, and I asked this brother, I said, you know, and I asked him the question that I hate to be asked myself, but you know, it was genuine. This is someone I've known on Facebook for years, and I just happened to, you know, it's like I put some people on hold, and I put, you know, like decided to see less of people and this, that, so I can open to see more algorithms of, you know, people who, you know, I might actually enjoy seeing what they post. And I did, and I seen someone, you know, who I hadn't really seen posting a little bit, and I was like, why are you still single? And he's like, you know, I'm waiting on the right one. And so I was like, are you a lady in waiting? You know, and you know, he was black, so he didn't know what that meant. But you know, I basically told him it's a legal term for that, you know, royals and monarchs and aristocrats use, but nobility mostly. But my point is, like, men, why are you waiting on the right one? You should be going out here looking for the women who are waiting on a good brother to come and help, to come and be a husband, to come and start a family, to come and build a nation. But you good for nothing, inferior, ignorant, uneducated, inability to solve any problem, low intellect ass niggas is sitting around waiting on a white woman who got enough money to come. And that's why, you ladies, you got to understand something about black men. They're decidedly gay. It's easy to be a lady in waiting and wait for the right one, and meanwhile he's probably he's probably taking trips to Atlanta. You know, these niggas be on this fuck shit that they be on. And that's what I'm saying with black women. Like, I've warned you all for the last 20 fucking years that black men hate us and they're trash and they're good for nothing and they're damn near the enemy. And now, like, yeah, it's Wakanda forever and anything, and that's all cute, but when you get out of Hollywood and you get in Black Panther is off, then the reality of it is there's no black men. They all got baby mamas. You know, they all are waiting to be saved by white women, or are with white women, or they're homosexual. You know, so it's like, you know, we're at a time now where black women have been dealing with the absence of men since the absence of the right to be protected and provided for by our own men since the abolishment of slavery, since, you know, being able to, you know, supposedly create a society. It's been hard for black men. And, you know, when they do get something, they ain't giving it to black women. Black men see us as ladders and doormats and stepping stools and you know, or stilettos, you know. But black men do, you know. And again, if it don't apply, let it fly. But what I'm saying is, Do your Papa Legba rituals. Make sure you get these obstacles out of your way. Understand what society we're in. People aren't thinking for themselves. People don't even date the people they're attracted to. People is just, these men out here is ladies in waiting, sisters. They ladies in waiting. Let's see what we got here. Oh wow, it's nice and flaky. Looky. Ooh, so flaky coming off. Oh wow. I don't know if you can see. Ooh, so flaky. Mmm. Mmm. Yep. Yeah, that Diablo sauce made it extra salty and spicy. Mmm. Oh, this is delicious. Let me go with the other stuff. All I'm saying is these niggas out here, ladies in waiting, like, so understanding retrograde, start seeing things from a different perspective, figure out different ways to solve your problems, and find your tribe, find your niche, move somewhere if you have to, start figuring out where you belong, but remember what the Bible says. It's easy for people in the new age to always talk about detachments and moving and love yourself and this, that, but when you look at the Bible actually encourages you to stick to what's familiar more than anything. And it warns you about going to foreign places. My father always warned me, when in Rome, do what the Romans do. Peace, Tyrone. Peace, JJ. Peace, everyone. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling something too. Good night, Glenn. So, you know, it's kind of a time, like I said, be still, figure out ways to solve your problems from where you are, and then when it's time to make a move, but be very selective with who's in your circles, and like I said, do what you need to do to clear your paths. And if you got Ogun as well, get your machetes and your cauldrons and your coal going at your altars too, because Ogun is an alternative to Eshu, not a substitute for gatekeeping, but Ogun has his own properties for clearing paths as well. So, and Ogun is the only male Orisha that will allow a woman to make offerings during her menstrual. That's a mystery for you. You only have to wait 58 minutes for it, y'all. All right, well, I'm gonna enjoy this delicious catfish that I made for myself. It's so good. It's nice. It's flaky. It's really warm. It's looking great. Let me stop. This is so good. So yeah, shout out to That Girl Can Cook for the recipe. I'm gonna keep working on my country fried swag. Like, I called it country fried instead of southern because I modified some things, so you know. But I don't know, for some reason, been on a little southern style kick, little Sokun southern kick, working with frying foods this year. So I'm enjoying it. Can I cook fufu and pepper soup? I do in certain ways. I haven't cooked fufu yet. I do make African style chicken. I grew up around Africans, so I did learn to cook from Africans as well. From Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Zambia, and South Africa. Had a friend from Cote d'Ivoire too. But so I learned how to boil chicken. Actually, My mom and my African auntie, that's where I learned how to cook French fries. But they used to use enshima, not fufu. Enshima, which is a bit grainier than fufu, and it's whiter. And then I've had injera bread from the Ethiopian restaurant. I like injera bread because it's really pancakey and spongy. But you know, I hate grits, and it all kind of reminds me of grits. But I can do the enshima. I don't know about the fufu, but we'll see. We'll see. Don't let me get off this before somebody starts talking about some jollof rice. We not there yet. Rice is probably like the one thing that that's the one thing I can't make. Yeah, my one of my ex from Louisiana used to talk about like rice being the determining factor, and it's just like rice is probably the only thing I can't cook. But you know, we'll see. All right, peace and love, everyone. I'm tired and I'm excited. All right, I love y'all. Listen, learn, like, subscribe. Check out those links. That Girl Can Cook, and check out Who Is Bewitched Africa. Look at those videos. Stay tuned. Follow me on Instagram. Stay tuned for some new music. Hopefully, we're gonna have some more concerts coming up soon. Do I make soggy rice? Yoda, I just gotta I've never really been able to quite make rice. It either be too hot. Yeah, I don't know. I just maybe don't put the water out at the right time or something. Like I'm great at I don't know, something about rice. Something about rice. I don't know. I really don't. But I'm gonna figure it out though. Figure it out. Yep. Listen, learn, like, subscribe, follow me on IG.